are. So how you doing? Uh, well, things are kind of what they are. Last few days, let's see, here it is Thursday. 2 weeks ago, I slid down a hill and sprained all my everything. My ankles, my knees, my hips, my everything. I could barely breathe. But, hey, Anthony, I came out the other side and I'm walking. And it enabled my doctors to finally get around to measure me for orthopedic shoes and x-raying all my bones to make sure I'm all in one piece, which I am. Hope you're doing better. Yeah, that's all that's all we're asked to do. Do better. And every day and every way, we take the piece of earth and we make it stronger. And to live by any dogma, any Bible, any book, anything, they're all very nice. They helpful. You know, but to say this is it, and I'm gonna kill everyone who doesn't believe in this, and good luck with that. So these are my Bam Bam pants. Bam 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 Bam, and what else is happening? That's it. Just the summer hasn't quite started. It starts in a few days, and let's see. Let's see what the magic box says here. Okay. When is the longest day of the year, and when does summer start?
According to USA Today, the first day of summer 2021 is June 20th at 11:32 p.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time.
That's not the longest day. June 20th. When is the longest day of the year?
Summer solstice in Northern Hemisphere was on Sunday, June 20th, 2021 at 11:31 p.m. Eastern Time.
Okay. So that's it. Sunday. Last Sunday. So the days are getting shorter. Anyway. So that's it. Uh, you know, as the days march by day, tomorrow after tomorrow after tomorrow, I really need your wisdom today. What do you want me to point, Anthony? What's me every day? It's a good day for Sensei L. Bob's wisdom, and my wisdom is the wisdom of the griot, the storyteller. I tell a story. So, my let's see. So far, this summer, I've rolled across oh maybe 6 people have come to visit, which have been nice. But there's a good 20 people who live right nearby. Could really we could make a very interesting community. Not really. They're stuck in their traumas and daily woes, and have a lot of good to them, and a lot of good. There's this one kid who's really up on his herbs, and my little deep garden. I have every you stand still in front in 20 feet. There is 60 different plants that I've sprinkled amongst. Um, you should weed eat all those are weeds. No, I'm sorry. There's burdock and hyssop and golden seal and echinacea and thousands of other plants going like right there. And you should weed. It's like really. Anyway, so that's I would say to the general public, enjoy every minute you got. Right now, I'm enjoying like the last there was a bunch of these kids who have been studying sustainability. They could come and be part of being sustainable. and they only live 10 miles from me, right? And they only have to make 2 turns, and still they can't find the place, and they can't make time. I had to watch that TV show, and you know they're useless. There's one girl, she's a college grad. She's making $4 an hour selling vegetables outside, and she's basically lying because the guy she works for buys the vegetables at a wholesale plant. That same place that you know Walmart gets the stuff. So it's not any better. It's the same stuff, and so but it's advertised, and the boss has her out there in a granny dress, and she's selling the stuff, and she thinks she's living the dream. Alan, I was just thinking about you. Yep, here I am. Yep, the cicadas. Where I'm at, it's really nice. There are not too many insects, but there are enough to make sure that there's life on Earth. So, that's a good thing. So, what's happening in your neck of the woods, Alan? And Anthony, I really need some wisdom today. So give me a question and I'll give you some wisdom. It's that kind of how it works. And remember, write things in capitals so I can read them. The light here is not that bad. So I'm not shining bright light coming through the window, so I can't see anything. Anyway, um, so I've been basically waiting for people to arrive. Some really nice people came from Mississippi. When they heard that I hurt myself, they drove all the way from Mississippi. Right? Whereas folks right here in the neighborhood, 10 miles, who are my neighbors, they just fly right by. I basically have to put my car in my front lawn so they can't get by. Even though I've fixed a ton of stuff for them and not charged them anything because they're my neighbors, right? And I want it safe for them. But it's really interesting. Let's see. My observations. And that's what I do. That's what I got paid for, to observe, to see things in a different perspective. And that is the psychosocial, cultural, forensic, anthropologic perspective. That's in the scholastic. When you add shamanic at the beginning and alchemy at the end, that's when things change. So the shamanic, psychosocial, cultural, forensic, anthropologic, alchemy. So, shamanic, what's that? That's a frame, how we look at stuff. So I look at everything through all our relations, right? And days flying by. Um, psycho, right? What is that? That's the individual's world view seen through their psychology, how they view things. So, shamanic, that's the frame of all our relations. Psycho, it's your own intellect, your own ego. Your psycho is your ego, right? Matthew. Yep, the Gestalt view. Yep. Lightning understanding. Lightning understanding. Lightning understanding. You took notes in school. You listened to the teacher and you took notes. Not to remember, but to go, oh, that's what that's about. So if you take your little smartphone, this little guy, and it has this place where you can record, you hit that button just after you wake up, had this great dream in your head, and your feet, you're still under the covers, and you take that phone and go, wow, I just had this dream about blah, 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 blah. It'll come right out of your mouth, right onto the phone. Now it's documented. You can listen to it, you can stop it, you can go back, go forward, and as you do that, you then write it down. break the rules, break the rules. Right? So you write it down. Then you go back and go, you read what you were listening to. And when you listen to it and write it down, you go, and that's a gestalt, lightning understanding. So that's the way to be your best shrink, right? Right there. If you did that, you would have insights into who you are, why you do things, what's going on, in a way that you just don't have right now. And once you get good at that, you can do it without the tape recorder. You can just kind of record it into your Akashic record and then go back and look at it, and you got the big picture, and they have 28 little pictures of all the different angles of what's going on. Now, that's real shamanic, Gestalt therapy. Fish, good to see you. Hey, we're getting a good gang here. Anthony and Alan and Matthew and Fish. Good to see you. Anyway, how about some of those thumbs up? And good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Welcome to Dreamy Dreamland with Sensei Al Bob. I am your sensei. I'm here to tell you a story for you to understand, to have gestalt, as Matthew says. Greatest view is gestalt. Right? So I'll tell you a story and you go, oh, that's why that happened. And I'm here to support you in any way I can through prayer. Father Sky, Mother Earth, Holy Spirit, bless us indeed. Protect us from evil, enlarge our territory, and keep us safe so we will do no harm. So, the last few weeks has been just blissful writing my novel, my legend. So that's coming along nicely. I've got about 500 pages, but I have written, edited maybe 270, and I probably have another 100 before the book comes to a close. And this is a series of books, right? So if you go to xratted.blogspot.com, and that is my blog where I have my writing. And I think Google bought them out after I had my friend put me up there. And it used to be real easy to put stuff on, and just hold the document and transport it into that space. Not anymore. Now you have to put it on Google's cloud. And then you get, when you go look for that novel, you get the link and you go to the cloud. And so, anyway, that's fascism in the 21st century. Man, we're living in the 21st century. I remember 1950, whatever it was, that I was watching George Jetson. You know, June, his wife, Pam, his daughter, Penny. So, why don't I have my flying car? Hey, oh. So, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. This is Dreamy Dreamland with your Sensei Al Bob. And I'm here to welcome you aboard and remind you this is just a show for entertainment, for laughs and giggles. And don't take anything I say serious. Don't believe anything I say. Don't believe anything unless you can go prove it for yourself within the construct of that shamanic frame of your psychology. And then your psychology is backed up by your social dynamic, what's your orientation, your job, your presence, your gender, your sexual orientation, your political orientation, all of the above orientation, what, you know, uh, class you're in, what the Indian folk call your caste. In America we got a caste system going on, pretty big, and poor. Mr. Billy Gates, Mr. Jeffy Amazon, Mr. Moore on Facebook, Larry Luce, you know, Tesla car, boy, those people, those four, might throw in Warren Buffett. Those five have more money, just those five guys, than 82% of the American public put together. Yeah. And the United States, the richest country in the world, we are 35th in healthcare. We are the only developed country where our life expectancy since last year has gone down 2 years for the aggregate, 4 years for black folk, and 5 years for the Hispanics. Those aggregates that are coming up in population in America, thus disenfranchising the white male control. And looking at Moshko Mitch, the worm, just look at his. He's got so many jaws. He looks like a tapeworm. He's ruling the country really. So it's such a I Love Lucy show, mixed in with a little Freddy Krueger, and who's the little doll with the big knife, scar over his head? What's his name? Anyway, I think that's our president or vice president, which who is which. So when the Doctore sent me on my little quest into the Amazon in 1989, and I met a tribe that I was the first white guy they ever saw. It was like the meetings. It was like exactly what happened to me in 1977 when I was going to visit my good friend Neil Curtis, who's a photo cartoonist, political, and he was the Gary Trudeau of political cartooning of Australia, and he used to start newspapers. So Mr. Fox News would buy him. I mean, that guy before he came to America, he owned he and his family had boys. Um, Owned every radio, every TV, every newspaper. And my friend would just go out in a little town with a mimeograph machine and start a newspaper. And that guy would buy him out for like 100 grand. So he'd make 100 grand a year doing a mimeograph newspaper in little towns because this guy wanted to control everything. And that's Australia, control everything. And, the white plutocratic oligarch male matriarch. And that's the interesting thing is that women really rule, and they do it so down low that men are just psychotic pinwheel meat puppets for them. Right? So that's kind of the story, and it's becoming more and more and more infanticized and right in front of us. I mean, there's no excuses. There is no like, oh, I didn't know that was happening. It's like right there, seeing it. It's like, what? You gotta be kidding me. Here's a tour. A tour. I don't know what they're touring, what they're looking at, but they got their little notebooks out, and the guy is there with his cowboy hat, and he's taking notes. Let's see. Can you see that? They're out there taking notes. Red grass, I think. So, so Anthony, what was the question on wisdom you want? Come on, throw me a bone here. I'm glad you're all here. I'm glad you're all wishing me good tidings. I like that, And again, if anyone wants to send me something on the old PayPal, just go to PayPal and then say, when it asks for the email, the dudeawake42 at Gmail. And if you want to get a hold of me, come visit at Gmail. Let's see if anyone has dropped me a line. And what's going to happen is nothing. Someone puts me on these come on to Christ websites. Election fraud. Come on, JC, man, please. Let's see him. Let's see what this guy wants. Hope you watch this. Okay, we'll give it a watch. Not watch this show for your friends and family who want a vaccine. Please share. Mm-hmm. Truth hunters. Ooh. Common law in 10 minutes. You were rich from the day you were born. And you've been swindled out of it ever since. By somebody's. So that's why, I don't look at my website too much because it's like, what? Say what? What is that? Anthony. Let's see. Matthew, can you speak about the unseen hand? Okay. I just have felt anxious like my whole world is collapsing today. Well, bottom line, anxiety is an artificial plane of existence. But there for who is the hidden hand. Hidden hand is that small group of people who rule the world. And we don't even know who they are because they are energetic folk. And they come from other planets, other time dimensions, you name it. A good example would be the Queen of England. Go read all of David Icke's books about all those reptiles. And David's pretty good. David is, he is fixated, but he has a lot of good information, and it's up to you to parse it out. Just like our good friend Cliff with 2 apps, Hyde, and his channel. I mean, he's getting taken out of context and off the air, like woo. But he's got a lot of good information, and other people are looking at it and bouncing it around the internet and doing their own homework, which is what you should be doing. Your own homework. Whatever I say, don't believe it. Might interest you? Write it down. Go look, see what you can find. Google it. Start there, and start at other fishing holes, and see what's out there. Don't believe anything anybody says. How does it make you feel? So, friend here. Matthew and Anthony are going, why do I feel so bad? And it's not so much you feeling bad, it's the energetics around you that are making you feel bad. And that's very simple to do. Just pump up your own energy and keep a force field around you and see what's happening and how it affects you. Right? So that's kind of how it should go. Let's see if our man is around. Hey, buddy, bud, how you doing? So, have you gone to lunch yet? Oh, over at home? Okay, I'm in town. Yeah, I'm at the library. I'll be done in I don't know 15, 20 minutes, and I'm gonna go get my mail. And then I thought I'd walk through your door. Okay, sounds like a plan. Okay, I'll saw you in the morning. Yep. So that's my bud who lives in town. So you know, so Somebody's sneezing over there. I got my mask. So let's see. What else is people saying here? Can you speak about the unseen hand? So it is many different things. Again, if you read the Bible, is a great book. You have to read deeper, and I would suggest you go to the Greek Bible first. That's the first one, right? And if you can teach yourself Greek and read it in Greek, but you can also, there's these books that help you translate things, right? So check that out, and you'll see a good example. Moses up in the hills with the goats. Um, the burning bush shows up and tells Moses to go free his people. And we all think because we watched the movie that the slavery was the Egyptians and that the Jews were slaves. No, Jews went there and they were money lenders, and they were businessmen. And what God wanted them to be freed from was their own prejudice. And that's the worst thing. Your own prejudice is your worst nightmare, right? So that's first off. And so Moses said, okay, but, and the burning bush said, I'll give you one freebie. Ask me anything and I'll tell you straight up. I won't give you some wacko answer like, what's that mean? So back in the day, um, the your name really told it all about you. So, um, like my name, Al Bob. Go look those two words up. What they mean. So, back, owl, bird of wisdom, totem of wisdom. Not necessarily I'm wise, but those are my totems: wisdom, understanding, help, through wisdom. That's the Aquarian way. And Bob. Bob is shorthand for the highest you can get to be. Right. So, and that's your path of movement through the astral, right? And so you just baby steps forward, ascend. That's what we're here to do. Not to be merchants, not to be mercantile. No, to own control. No, sorry. Those are illusions. They don't exist. So if that pressure is being put on you, and that's shamanic psychosocial culture. Where did grandma come from? What's your culture? What do you subscribe to? What holidays? What do you eat? Right, that's your culture. Um, Anthropologically, right, and psychosocial cultural forensic. Take it apart thread by thread. Anthropological. Look at without your prejudicial glasses. You look at now and it's like blurry. Oh, I can see better. It's blurry. So, and alchemist, right? What's that? Changing base metals into gold. And you are the base metal. You, that bag of water, right? And your gold is that thread that connects you, right, from the bag of water avatar into your soul, which is your um, server, and then through the server up to your spirit. And that is the internet with God, or the Holy Spirit, or whatever you want to call it. I just call it Bob at the moment because when Moses said to the burning bush, okay, so what's your name? And the burning bush had to be straight up, not like some, like King James says, I am who I am. No, God is not Popeye. No, no. What the burning bush answered was, I am a work in progress, and you are my reflection. That's why you're important. I can only understand what I am by watching my effect on you. So that's kind of the relationship we're in right now. So, and we got all the time in the world. You want to be here doing the same thing for another billion years? No. Or be happy. Let the grace of Father Sky, Mother Earth, Holy Spirit go into your heart. Grace. That's the action word. And why are we here? We're here to decide. We have free will. We're not wired in, where we do the same thing. We have free will to choose. And all the animals, our dogs and our cats and horses and donkeys and cows and all the ones who are connected to us, they see that and do it a little bit, but not really, because they are wired in. Now they're smart, way smarter than we think they are, and they have an ascension path too. Um, Jesus is olive oil. You mean in Popeye? Yes, well, she's definitely Mary Magdalene, that's for sure. Let's get laid, Popeye. Come on, shove it in. It's like she knows where her pencil is pointed. And she's always lubed up. Olive oil, baby. That's my favorite. You know, massage oil, olive oil. Olive oil. Feeling good today. Anyway, so good one. Yes, Mary, for sure. Yep. Did you ever see the movie um, Last Temptation of Christ with what's his name? And the first scene is he is like huffing away on Mary, and she's just sitting there like looking at her fingernails, and she's totally tattooed, and some people, oh, she's a prostitute. No, she was a Vestal Virgin of the temple prostitute. Of course, she's having sex with God. Oh, Jesus. It sounding just like olive oil. Oh, I'm so greased up. Oh. So, remember, this is just a show for laugh and giggles. Don't take anything I say serious, really. I'm just your YouTube griot comedian, sitting down comedian. So, time flies when you're having fun. Just 5 will be left. 32 minutes at 40. I'm heading off to do my other errands. So, love you all. Yes, unique film. Yes, I love that film. And not Robert Duvall. Who was that guy? He also played the Green Goblin and Spider-Man, and he played me in the movie about Samuel. The opening scene is there's like Jesus Christ up on a ladder, putting in a track light in 420, and there's Andy Warhol and the guy who owns 420 looking up at me, and the guy's going, your pipe that could be sculpture, blah blah blah. And my helper, who was Samuel, was on the floor with kind of pale pencils. We cleaned out a loft that had tons of art stuff, these beautiful pencils that, like almost oil painting, and these nice, beautiful cards about that big. And he was just drawing one thing after, straight out of his head. Samuel. And Andy looked at all of these things on the floor and said, wow, this guy's pretty cool. And kind of bent down and picked him up and looked at what was going on. And it's like, really? It's 1 o'clock? Okay. It's time to go, I think. Yes. It's 1 o'clock or 11 o'clock. Now, that's the last time I looked at the weather. Now it's 1 p.m., so I'm out of here. Let's see. It's always fun to see you guys. Ryan, Matthew, Anthony. So what's when we need to do something together? I've been trying to get people to do something for the 4th of July. Right, the Rainbow Gathering has been kind of kaput, but I want to do something. So on the 4th of July, in the morning. I'm just going to meditate. No radio, no sounds. Just I'm going to meditate, and I'm going to leave it up to you to take it from there. Okay. And the day after, so that's I think Saturday is the 4th So Sunday I might come back online, but I'll do it before because that's like a week from this weekend. So maybe this week, and I'll try and get maybe tomorrow, maybe Sunday, Monday. We'll try and touch base with you guys. Maybe next Thursday. Okay. Okay. Till then, I'll see ya. Boop, ba-doop, boop, boop. Where is this little guy? Here it is.